Good morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Monday the 19th of April. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks, positive start to the day after an early pullback. You're going to see Bitcoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 55,650. to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 68.01. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break back through to 60,000 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's early morning high 62.79 to cap any upside. In the event of a broad-based crypto rebound, could see Bitcoin target swing high 64.829 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 65.429. A fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 51.022 into play. Barring an extended sell on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub 50s and the second major support level sitting at 45.871. The 23.6% fib at 54.73 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, got a widening of the bullish histograms at the turn of the day, supporting the early upside. On the EMAs, the 50 has flattened on the 100 and the 200, but still suggestive of a bearish day ahead, so need to keep an eye on that through the early part of the day. So key, avoid a fall through the pivot at 55,650, break back through to 60,000 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Ethereum against US dollar, positive start to the day after an early pullback. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 21.94 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 23.88. We'll need support from the broader market for Ethereum to break back through to 2300 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 23.41 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Ethereum target 2500 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 25.35. Fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 20.47 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should stay clear of the second major support level, sitting at 18.53. The 23.6% fib at 19.66 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, slight narrowing of the bullish histogram this morning, supporting the slight pullback. On the EMAs, the 50 has widened the gap from the 200 and the 100 marginally, but inconclusive and continuing to suggest a bearish day ahead. So need to keep an eye on that early on. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 21.94, break back through to 2300 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Across to Litecoin against US dollar, positive start tracking the broader market. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 274. To take a run at the first major resistance level, it's 306. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break back through to 300 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level at yesterday's high at 305.33 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Litecoin target 320s before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 335. A fallback through the pivot would bring the 23.6% fib at 262 and the first major support level at 242 into play. Barring an extended sell on the day, however, Litecoin should stay clear of the second major support level at 209. The 38.2% fib at 217 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we have a slight narrowing of the bullish histogram this morning, suggestive of some possible pullback. On the EMA, the 50 has pulled back marginally from the 100 and closed marginally on the 200, supporting a possible pullback this morning. So key through the early part of the day would be to avoid the pivot at 274 and break back through to 300 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that and support levels will come into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against US dollar, also bullish after an early reversal. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fallback through the pivot at 3770 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 1.6039. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through the 23.6% fib, sitting at 1.5426. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Ripple's XRP target 1.8 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1.7941. Fallback through the pivot would bring the 38.2% fib at 1.2807 and the first major support level at 1.1868 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid the second major support level at 0.9598. Looking at the MACDs, holding steady at the turn of the day, so inconclusive but suggestive of some further upside. On the EMAs, the 50 has pulled further back from the 100 and the 200, remaining a bearish indicator. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through the pivot at 1.3770 and break through the 23.6% fib at 1.5426 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play.